Na szóval... Most füles cserétem. Kiderül. Elvileg az offline felvétel alatt jól teljesített a drága. Kisütök még rá kakaót. Kicsit más a hangzás. Kicsit más a hangzás nekem is. Ezt úgy kéne beállítani, ne nyomja annyira fejem. Ezt az egyetlen szeretem ebbe a fülesbe, hogy kibaszottul és most nagyon torzan hallok. Na, szóval állóház, gricingzés, egyébként üdvözlet rádiónéző gyerekek, itt Draga Hunter veletek, és remélem nem torz a hangom. És elindítottam a felvételt is. Mert az előbb ezt elfelejtettem. Hops, és bocsánat. Na szóval. Ja, én ide akartam... Mi? Ohó! Itt valahogy föl lehet menni.
There's an old watchtower at the top of that. Looks like the path up broke a long time ago. I'm gonna have to climb.
Aha. De itt valahol... Itt följebb.
This'll make a good die.
Még láttam valahol. Hé, az ott... Oké, mehetünk tovább. Ez mi vagy? Nem tudom, de begyűjtelek. Oh, hello! Megyünk föl! Jó, a franc a droppot még mindig baszogatja.
There we go.
Na, vettünk is egyet. Ez majdnem puff lett. Na, meg vagy. Ne! Ow!
I fell further than I thought.
Na jó, hát ezt roppantból nem így terveztem. Csak le akartam ugrani a földszintre, ez meg kiugrott a semmibe. Miért csinálod ezt, Iloy? Csak oda a tetőre akartam leugrani. De ne vissza! Arra az állványra, oda. Akkor le! Jaj! Úgy.
device. The metal reflects the sun. Send a signal?
Mi van?
Looks like some kind of lens. Guess I'll keep it for later.
Ez igen. Hello, köszi. Ott is van valami. Oda nem tudok átmenni így. Azt jelzi a térkép? Szerintem nem jelzi a térkép, úgyhogy most mentek egyet, mert ez ilyen szép kis ugrálós vár volt, és várjál, innen még le kell jutnom. Nem kiabáltam el azt az idősig. Szép belátszik innen a dög. Hogyne. Szépen lemegyünk egy darabba. Itt nem volt olyan leugró... Jó, most se lemászok. Baszki, ez már nem szándékos volt! Így csak ne törődjetek velem. Én itt se vagyok. Ott vidrák. Ti nem érdekeltek engem, de én se titeket. Gyakorlásra kell az állatokat. Mert hogy kell a loot belőlük. És elvileg majd van valami képességem, amivel jobban tudom beszedni a lootot. Ne zavartassátok magatokat, én itt csak átszaladóba vagyok. Oh. Van loot. Jó, várj. Ne nézelődjél. Ne nézelődjél. Én szóltam, hogy ide jössz véged? Öcsém, ide jössz véged. Szólok ám. Előre. Itt van egy tábortűz. Merre van a tábor? Hátam mögött, igaz? Ja. Te mit csinálsz? Jó, megnyugodtál. Ja, ott a táborban volt egy tűz. Azt hiszem, valahol. Ja igen, ott mutatja is a térkép, jó. Ez. Ez nem loot, ez csak dekort itt. Ja, nem ezt akartam, hanem ezt. Na azért most visszahallgattam, hogy milyen az adás. Úgyis le van maradva egy 5 perce. Mi van? Perce. Na azért most visszahallgattam, hogy milyen az a... De hova lett a többi része? Mi van? Csú, hova tűnt a 10 perces felvételből, hova lett a többi? Azt mondja, 1 perce van adás. Hát ez hülye. Út van? Na azért most visszahallgattam, megszakadt, vagy mi? Milyen az... De hova lett a többi része? Mi van? Hát... Csú, hova tűnt a 10 perces felvételből, hova lett a többi? Azt mondja, 1 perce van adás. Hát ez hülye. Mondjuk az már szent igaz, hogy a hang az jobb. Na azért most megszakadt, vagy mi? Na jó, ez így... Többi része? Ez így rettentően fura. Hát, hova tűnt a 10 perces felvételből, hova lett a többi? Azt mondja, 1 perce van adás. Ez hülye. Mondjuk az már szent igaz, hogy a hang az jobb. Megszakadt, vagy mi? Hát, már pedig ez a mentéstől nézi csak. Elveszett 8 perc az étterbe. Hát jó. Mondjuk sok Ó, de pont a tornyos dolog kimaradt így. Na jó, kap befaszom. Mindegy, felvételben megvan, úgyhogy majd onnan. Igen, várj, mit mondott? Imre azt mondta, hogy... Hol láttam azt a dummy-t? Aha, ott van. És... ott a másik fele. Ja, várjál, nem azon jöttem le? Most ne foglalkozzatok velem, jó? Ott csak ide jössz, mi?
Looks like a lance horn, but with scarier antlers.
Hát haver... Ez lehet, hogy nem a legjobb ötleted volt. Te még élsz? Te hogy élsz még? Hát átjöttelek.
Got a piece of it.
Itt nem hagytál valamit? Esküszöm, innen lelőttem róla valamit. Ja. Hogy sodródott ez idáig? Oh! Hello! Nem tetszik, amit végettem a kollégával? Ó, baszki.
It's falling!
Jó, valami terhelynövelőt kell szereznem ehhez. Nem? Hol vagytok többiek? Ó, az kell a fejlesztéshez. Az ott az én barátom, akit ma megsoroztam egy kicsit.
Secret ingredient for someone, I'll bet.
Én mondtam, hogy hagyjon békén. Bocsi, Maci. Mi? Ó! Innen tök jobb belátom a helyet. Assassin's Creed. Nem. Meg. Jó, tudom most hát, de most... Ha. Először is. Csak azért, hogy legyen elég lőszerem.
Gotcha!
A fától nem látom. Kell a lootod, öcsém. Na jó, veletek még nem akarok játszani. Rossz kutyik. Kell a lootjuk viszont. Azért még visszamegyek. Ahaha, nem hagyjuk ennyibe.
I know something's up.
Jó, ezek most ott fognak táborozni. Jó, hát tekemet. Tudok egyáltalán? Tudok. Ott meg a vidromász kell. Jövök a lootomért vissza. Nem hagyjuk itt. Megküzdöttem érte. Ja, hol? Ó, nem áll. Jó, várj, itt van a szar. Vas. És hol vannak a cuccok róla? Nem áll, hogy egy idő után szpannolodnak. Szomorú.
I'll save this for a dyer.
De ezek most engem kerestek arra? Rohadékok. Szóval a lootomat is elveszem. Várjál, mentem a kötél irányába. Ja, az a kötél az a izé lesz. Jó, azzal nem megyek sokra. Ha már itt vagyok, viszont akkor lehet, hogy elmegyek menteni. Hol van itt a Jó, nem ezt akartam. Nem. Ezt akartam. Itt a mentési pont. Itt nem tudok felugrálni. Melyik itt? Nem. Mi? Új, de hova váltak fel? Itt mi van? Várjál, nem innen jöttem le? Nem, várjál, ez itt más. Nem tudom mi van ott, de most sem fel akarok menni. Mert megtehetem és... Na várjál már. Ott az előbb még nem a táborozók volt? Ja nem, azok ott vannak föntebb. Oh. Vagy ott voltak a bányászok, csak elmentek onnan, mert oda mentek a robotok? Ó, oda föl lehet menni? Érted? Itt a térkép. Hatalmas bejárandó terület, és ez még az sem biztos, hogy elkezdtem egy nyugat felé haladni. És én még itt tartok, és eltelt asongó 2,5 óra, hanem 3 már. És azt hiszem, hogy ide föl lehet menni erre a hegynek a tetejére, de meg akarok... Itt is van egy cucc. Innen indultam. Itt kezdődött a jár. Na jól van. Várj, oda megyek, ezt megnézzük, hogy itt föl lehet. Fölengedem ászni, mert valószínűleg, hogyha nem akarja fölmegyek, akkor... Ez mi?
Damn, these are tough.
Ez olyan HD-szerű. Ja, várja. Fémvirág. Ó, ide vissza kell majd jönnöm. Ohó, engedd fölfelé menni. Tehát ehhez valami cucc kell. Jaj! Hogy sikerült ide eljönnöm? Na jó van.
Gotta find a cauldron to learn how to override machines.
Ez csak egy halott malac. Jó van, itt sokan lennétek az ígértelem. Én még nem jobb a képességeim. Na csá! Dolgoztunk közben. Lehet, hogy ki fogom kapcsolni tényleg ezt a izé animációt. Ó, ti visszaszpannoltatok ide a kutyákkal együtt.
They're riled up now.
Ó. Csá! Ennek olyan hangja van, hogy közelről támad. Jaj! Anyád! Na jó van. Apja fülit. Küldte utánam az áldást a kis mocsok. Na fene a pofáját. Nyugodjatok le a
Save this for
picsába.
when I need it.
Na, ott tartottunk, hogy... Ide jöttem le először, igen. Itt verekedtem ezekkel. És nem játszok veletek. Tehát oda föntre majd vissza kell mennem, mert hogy ott van az a fényvirág. Mondom, valamit fel kell oldanom előtte. Ja, igen, tudom, hogy észrevettél. Amit pedig még nem csináltam meg, az, hogy van? Képzettségek, igen. Mi? Ez mit ad egyébként? Szétszóródó. Vagy ezt hogy kell használni egyébként? Céloz, igen, és tüzelj. Jó, de... Te célzok. Mit tudom én, azt oda akarom. Hát ez nem esik le ide. Jó, basszus, túl gyártottam. Jó, hello, loot.
You can get a strong color out of this.
Igen, de hogy választom ki, hogy melyik képességet használja? Ó, ott fenn van valami. Ó, ott látok valamit. Ezért nem hagyjuk itt.
This place has seen better days.
Na. Ilaj, menj föl. Ó, lehet, hogy erről a két törvényről beszélt Imre úr. Ez itt még munkapad? Elzárt útvonal. Mi? Ó, kaptam valami kulcsot. És itt is egy olyan
I
virág.
don't think I can get past them. Guess I should leave it for now.
Ezen föl... Az ott mi? Oda... De akkor nem tudom ezt a parét szétverni? Nem, ez szerintem úgy lesz, hogy feloldom azt a virágot, és akkor eltűnik ez a gaz. Gondolom én. Bejött egy létre. Valahol föl kéne tudnom jutni. Ja, ide. Oda se ugrasz föl. Na várj, és ide. Így, na. Gyerünk, azaz. Egyébként, ha már följöttem, az minek mondjuk azért, mert elbaszom az ugrást. Na. Hát a másik oldalra gondoltam, de jó lesz itt is. Oh, hello.
Made it. And there's another one of those devices.
Itt is.
A lens. Guess I'll
Ó,
figure
hogy
out what to
ebből
do with it
6-ot
later.
kell.
There's
Mama,
another
figyelj.
watchtower on that ridge across the valley. Looks like a long climb to get up there.
Ó, ott is van egy szemű valahol? Basszus. Azért megnézem, hogy van olyan leugró izé, de nem látok. Úgyhogy itt marad a manuális lemászás. Oh. Így is lehetem. Na jó, szóval, ja. Akkor... Aha! Jó, valószínűleg ezekre a tornyokra én most nem fogok fölmászkálni, mert ugyebár nem tudok haladni velük, mert kéne valami cucc, de akkor valószínűleg itt is lesz egy. Hát, hogy errefelé is lesz egy, szóval ide még akkor vissza kell jönnöm később. Jó, először menjünk ide végre, csináljuk a küldetést. De errefelé mi van? Nem? Küldetés. Küldetés. Menjünk már még. Szép. Kamera. Kamerakép. Most ezt hogy csináltam meg, hogy oda elment? Azért. Hé, Dragi, a küldetés nem erre van. Dragi. Nem bír magával. Jó. Nem csak azért, mert most elfogyott a hely. Ah, fuck. Na, erre mi van? tényleg sokáig fog tartani így a játék. Ott valami zöldet látok. Hát, tudtam, hogy idefele kell jönni. Jó, valószínűleg ez itt ennyi volt. De megérte eljönni. Azt hiszem ez a zöld izé meg valami fejlesztő cucc. Jó, vízesés. Van mögötte valami? Nincs. Ez a túlolasson.
That must be chain scrape. Drew said I could get my bow upgraded in there. Might be able to tinker with my other gear too.
Majd meglátjuk, hogy tényleg egy gyilkoltam-e hozzá a cuccikért.
Olvin can't just ignore us like this, can he? We almost died because of it.
Have you seen us? What are we supposed to do? Have Arnold throw his crutch at him?
Outlander approaching.
Is that the savior?
Wanna come in, Savior?
Ja.
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
By the forge. Petra?
Aloy, what are you doing here? About time there was something worth looking at in this dump.
It's nice to see you too.
And not a moment too soon. Come on. Damn brewery's the only thing I can count on in this place.
Yeah, I heard. Machines, work stoppage.
Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chainscrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him,
Yeah.
but he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh,
There's an embassy at Barren Light I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flame Hair, good to see you. You've got to move on.
Petra,
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
well, this Olvan guy sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
I'll have you know, I am the smartest man to ever stand exactly. Never fear, my lady.
Do I have to say it every time?
Hé, ott van valami. Te ki vagy? Várj, először is. Hol állítottam én azt át? Aha, ez az. Tehát erre így már nincsen szükség. Mert hogy rájöttem, hogy egy szűrő volt a baja. Aha, mindjárt más.
I see you all made it back.
Hammer and tongs. That they did, Huntress. They tell me you blasted through the problem. Lokuf here came back trembling like a twig.
Hey!
What's important is everyone made it out.
No thanks to Olvin.
Have you talked to him yet?
We're on the waiting list.
Doesn't have the guts to face all of us at once.
We need to stick together.
In case he decides to send his goons over.
You're all banged up as it is. I can deal with Ulvund. You don't need to stick around.
We know, you old hammer.
Just stay safe.
What? Rain? You get loads of that here. No, hell. Get even more of that here.
You just interrupt everyone you meet, or am I a special case?
Neked is visz, lehet úr anyádat.
I need to make this
Jövőre
right.
kedveskedni.
We will.
Don't worry.
How goes it, Hammerhead? What?
You're far from home, Nora.
Hát milyen kedves itt mindenki, hogy rohadjatok szájba.
You've got a face like a thundercloud. Here we
Így
go.
átmegyek kecoltokon, azt mindegyiket letaposom, hogy rohadjatok. Hé. Törség van? Ide be lehet menni? Ide be lehet törni?
Hey! A
Én
little
nem
clumsy,
üdvözlöm
aren't
őket.
ya?
Ezek buzik. Itt vannak a cuccaim. Köszi, hello.
How am I supposed to work with a hammer in this state?
New to the dog?
Is. Oh, hello.
Shop looks closed.
Yep,
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
Hey, why are you so blurry?
Shop's closed, Red.
Pretty sure you still owe me
You're
a
welcome to
charge.
use the workbench.
Meg később veszek tőle cuccot. Na, azt mondja. Jéj! Tekercsej. De tekercseim még nincs. Vannak, mert tekercseim nincsenek még tekercseim. Erszényt is tudok fejleszteni. Jéj, mit tudok fejleszteni? Több nyilat? Ja nem, fejleszteni akar. Ja, jó, oké, értem. Pekaricsont. Ezzel még nem is találkoztam. Hát, ez ennyi.
That's not to do.
Like my uncle used to say.
Még addig zárva vagy?
Can't be doing any business while
Oi.
chain scrapes on lockdown.
Ja, hogy addig vagy zárva, míg a... Itt arról is van. Hello. Te se hasonlóak vagytok. Te nem akarsz velem beszélgetni? Haló? Itt állok fönn. Beszélj hozzám! Ember! Jó, hát mindjárt besünyögök. Hó. Tudok innen lopni? Látod? Így jár az, aki nem szól hozzám.
Hello!
Kirabolom. Köcsög. Na. Szóval.
Finally!
Hello! Te ne legyél már ekkora bunkó! Hello!
Very second.
Hallod? Nem fenn a pofád.
What's your problem?
Az, hogy itt mindenki bunkó.
You call a few squiggles on a piece of paper.
Itt van egy tábortűz, izé. Aha.
Sure. Okay.
We are on the same side here, Ulrich. The bristlebacks threaten us all.
Oh,
Na,
drop
mi a
the
bajod?
act. We all know it was the Carja who let the bristlebacks into the valley, sent them straight through the gates of barren light.
That is preposterous. Why would we let dangerous machines into our own land?
You mean the land that honest Osram laborers work tirelessly with no say in its governance? The land that, should you sign the decree,
Oh, you and that damned concession decree.
would be managed by the people who actually live and work on it.
What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
Tehát egyik se szimpatikusabb a másik, nem?
The savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Ulvund Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my... saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast.
Menj a picsába, te szarrágó.
You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osram laborers of this land who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. Then just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Carja land, shouldn't a Carja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Carja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working Osram.
Hát nem így hallottam a dolgozóktól.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town. But with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram lives.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is gonna get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these good folk.
Just be ready to blow the whistle.
Hát nem lettem
Let me see what
nem
that Karja
lettem barát.
magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Nem tudok eldobni ettől a buzitól semmit.
Almost ready to go?
Ez itt a kocsma? Valószínűleg az itt a kocsma lesz. De előtte meg körbenézek, hogy mi van erre. Oh, hello!
You wanted to speak to me?
Well, you know better than anyone it's a dangerous world out there, and not just against machines. Name's Odur. This here's my training pit. Best place to practice close combat this side of the Forbidden West. Say, I wonder who'd win in a fight. You, the savior of Meridian, champion of the East, or the Enduring, master of the West.
Who?
The Enduring, a legendary Tanakh fighter, the master of masters. I've heard the Tanakh have training pits just like this one. It's how the warriors get so fierce, see? And only the very best from the pits get to train with the Enduring.
So, to find the Enduring, I should look for these training pits if I'm ever out that way?
You'll have to go far if you do. The Tanakh are split into 3 clans. 3 clans, 3 capitals, 3 training pits. My guess is you'd have to beat all of them if you want to train with the Enduring. If the Tanakh don't kill you on sight, that is. But that's a far spark in the wind. As for right now, I also offer challenges to test your fighting skill.
Who would I be fighting exactly? You?
Well, I know you're the savior and all, but you have to beat all the others first to challenge me. Rules are rules. We only use dual blades and practice arrows, mind. These drunken fools would run themselves through otherwise. You'll have to leave everything but your spear and practice arrows at the gate. But I'll look after your gear, not to worry. So, what do you say? Up for some training?
You.
I might be.
That's what I like to hear.
Na,
Nice to
kezdjük-
see you
kezdjük.
back here.
Yeah.
What can I help you with?
Én sem mentem. Ja! Nyom meg a gét, hosszan a gét. Ezek még nincsenek kifejlesztve. Aha. És akkor hogy tudok kihívást intézni?
Hello!
Look, Nora. Must be an exile.
Szerűzőn sivatagi mélyföld. Jó, oké. De akkor itt nem tudok gyakorolni? Szeretnék veled harcolni. Hello.
Welcome back, Savior. Here for some practice.
Igen. Olyan nincs, hogy gyerünk. Ja, hogy így. Aha!
Missy!
Ignoring me again?
Attacks are fast, but easily blocked. So learn to combine them with other attacks.
Anyone see where I put my gun? Anyone?
Ignoring me again?
Heavy attacks break weapon blocks and do more damage. But they're slow, so your opponents might counterattack.
Bocsánat. Jó. Kapta a skipotot is. Na.
Power attacks smash weapon blocks to really hammer an enemy with damage. But they're slow and leave you vulnerable, so pick your moment.
Nem zavar, hogy eddig is verekedtem már egyébként, de mindegy. Jó, hát itt ennyi. Ezek, ezt nem tudom. Ezeket se tudom most. Jó.
What strikes your fancy? Practice or a challenge?
Ja, szóval itt ennyi. Több nem lesz. Várj, akkor hogy van a... Küldi. Küldi, itt van. Ja, ez volt a barlangos. Beszéltem a veremestere. Mi? Tehát beszéltem vele és nem akar tovább verekedni. Ennyi. Hát de...
Welcome back, Savior!
Itt van minden, amit tudok, azt kitanultam. Kihívás. Fel kell valami saját blokkra ki... Ja, várjál, tehát ahhoz, hogy ezeket a küldetéseket meg tudjam csinálni, először a skill táblán kell... Ó. Tehát itt ezeket kéne föloldanom. Értem. Aha. Fegyver erőnlétetet. És ez 3 képességpontot ki... Az igen. Távolságén, találhatóként, viszonylag törő fegyver. Az igen, jó kis cucc egyébként. Most mi van? Ja, várjál, hogy megkaptam itt a pontokat. Oké. Okay. Bátorság hullám az a sárga csík. Oké. Na nézzük csak. Ó, akkor még itt egy kicsit elmegyek, aztán megyek vissza.
Careful there.
Shit. Ja, ez... Hoho, ott láttam valamit viszont. Oh. Meg fogom nézni, hogy van-e egyetlen olyan arcú, hogy ezeket két kell venni.
Sorry, Red. We're closed.
Szóval ez a paraszt nem engedi, addig 10-0 vagytok. Hát mondjuk ennek sok értelme van. De várjál már. Ho. Ja, az ott bent lesz. De viszont errefelé is lettem valamit kékleni.
Took you long enough.
Took a hammer to
Some
your
are
head.
afraid to be so close to the Forbidden West. I like to think it keeps me on my toes.
Not worth it, dude.
Good day for some forging, what'd you say?
Hol van az a kék izé, amit láttam, amikor jöttem föl? Ó, még több bábú. Hát nem tudom. Jaj, egy hordóba akadtam föl, jó.
Change your mind about that brew?
Mindjárt megyek.
Come to revel in some strike,
It's me.
sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win at all my boards, too.
Oké. Jó, oké, és... Van 2 vidra, jó. Van 2 vidra, vannak ilyen színes izék. Jó. Igen, de remélem közben elmagyarázod,
All
hogy
right,
mit kell csinálni.
let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner?
Igen.
That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go.
Oké.
I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward.
Milyen jobb oldalon van? Aha. Ide tudod
Remember,
nem?
each machine can move that machine forward. It's all part of the learning process. Just need to move that machine forward.
Akartam, de 2-t kell lépnem? Jó.
Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round. So go ahead and pick a... Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the two machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that?
Ja.
Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my... Not pulling any... See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets... Go ahead. Just sprint over to my machine.
Úgyis ez lett volna.
If you sprint, you'll be able to reach my machine.
Azt akartam, de most...
Try sprinting up to one of my machines.
Hogy emelhez.
Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine.
Aha.
Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep... You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes, that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
Ha! Köszi. Na, ez így érdekes. Oh.
Ah, I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines.
Aha. Kapok plusz egy erőt, itt semmit. Itt mínusz egy erő, mert vízbe vagyok. Hegyi terep erő, ez is erő. Aha.
Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering for me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram type machine. Attack an enemy with it and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know.
Na, haladunk szépen.
Let's play!
Nézzük, milyen élesben.
Come up. That's it for me. Time to get serious.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's done now. Time to make my move. You're up, Red.
Visszaélni? Ja, F. Igen, leraktam. De... Szeretném, hogy véget érni. Igen. Most komoly. Lépkednem kell egyes.
I won! Oh, but I'll play you again if you want.
De most miért? Na jó, ezt most nem értettem, hogy miért veszítettem.
Here we go.
Azért, mert nem támadtam?
My turn.
De nem oda, ide akart. Na mindegy, bazd meg.
Your turn.
Vagy ilyenkor... Ja...
Okay, let's see. Gotta say, your odds aren't good, Red.
Támad meg őt! Támad!
One less piece on the board. Time to get serious. Your move, Red.
Nem, véget akarok. De megint itt szórakozik. Véget akarok vetni a körnek.
Oh, I won!
De bazd meg!
Probably shouldn't
Na jó,
sound so surprised.
rohagy meg, majd ennek később nekiugrok most. Nem, ez idegesít. Miért?
This is gonna be
Jó,
fun.
pofádat befogod. Ide. De, ide. Mert nem oda, hova izé
Board's all
random
yours.
lerakod.
My
És most engedi? Miért nem akkor nyomom a következő kört, amikor én akarom?
Your move, Red. Okay, let's see.
Bazd meg.
Your turn.
De már megint nem enged. Nem enged kört lezárni. Miért nem engedsz kört lezárni? Kétszer
Knocked right off the
támadhatok. Mi?
board.
Nem. Jó.
Time to make my move. That's the game.
Fuck.
You up for a rematch?
Na jó, ezt most tök nyertem.
I'll see
Na
you
jó,
later,
majd ezzel
Aloy.
később szórakozok még. Annyit akarok, hogy beszélek itt az emberkével. Aztán mára szerintem ennyi, mert kezdek bekommázni. Ó, várjál. Csajje! Itt voltál.
Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
Ha! There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back, but realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
So about Ulvund.
Around here, everything's about Ulvund.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Ulvund?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Ulvund has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Kis köcsög.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Vörösöki.
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Olvin didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals. No trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they like my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in the scrounger pile, if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
Already got enough meat and bitter leaf. Just need to grab a metal panel from the scrounger pile.
Az igen.
Go there!
How do you do? Hope the day's treated you well.
Te mit csinálsz?
Oh, watch out!
Ezt nem fogom megtudni ezek szerint. Nem állsz velem szóba? Ja, még ott van a lakat rajta, még nem tudom. Jó. Akkor ide később vissza kell jönnöm.
Savior! Over here! Savior, thank you for taking the time, and my condolences that you had to endure Ulvin's bloviating.
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is barren light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvin up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvin wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus on rebuilding Barren Light instead.
Na, érdekes kérdéseket vetett fel a dolog. Oda nem tudok, egy herbalista orvosságok. Aha. Hova kell majd mennem? Ki a peremre? Igen. Sört, hát itt lesz a küldi. Jó. Ja? Nem, most Ez mellék küldi. Azt hittem, az a fő küldi. Jó, először majd ide megyek. Jó. Most így hirtelen ennyi. Megkezdek beállósodni. Ezért köszönöm szépen a figyelmet, remélem jól szórakoztatok, és majd a vágásnál találkozunk. A hashtag copyright legyen.